r/relationships. Dreamilla content says, I, F30, need to talk to my friend, F29, about her behavior on our trip. Edited to I have no intention of yelling at her/demanding answers. She's gone back to her usual self upon returning home, so I'd like to know if something was said or done on the trip that ruined it for her. This way everyone can have a fun trip in the future. Last week, a group of 8 of us, 4 couples, went to the beach. Most of us had a great time, but my one friend, M, was in a terrible mood the entire week. I need advice on how to talk to her about it. Sorry, it's really long, but I think the details are important. It started with her messaging me repeatedly the week before about how it was going to be too cold at the beach. I kept assuring her that while it sucks, we would still make the most of the trip. We drove in 3 separate cars and had a group chat to notify each other if we needed to pee, etc. Our friend who planned the trip, C, preferred if we stopped for breaks together, as it's just more fun that way. At one point, Eman, her boyfriend, D, decided not to stop with the group and to keep on going, which was no big deal. Because of that, though, they ended up stuck in traffic later on, while our GPS rerouted the rest of us to a quicker route. M was texting me and C privately, freaking out about the traffic, complaining how she had to pee, and saying she's bawling her eyes out. I felt bad for her, and C and I tried to be reassuring about her situation. She ended up arriving about 45 minutes later than the rest of us, and she stormed into the house and straight to her room, and didn't come out for a while. She did send a text to me and C to say she's sorry, but she's been crying for the last hour, so she needed a minute. Again, completely understand. However, her mood did not really improve the entire week. At every opportunity she went to her room. She never ate when other people were, and was always irritated and hungry. There was one day that D came out of their room after me, C, and our partners had gotten breakfast, so he walked to a coffee shop to get a muffin for M and coffees for the other 2 who were still in bed. They put their coffee orders in the group chat, which were complicated, and D forgot the muffin. M basically threw a fit, and D offered to go back to get her a muffin, but she said it was too late and almost lunchtime. It was about 11, and we were planning to go to a place that C really wanted to try. The whole exchange was really awkward and kind of a tantrum. I think she was hangry. Finally D was like, we are going to breakfast, and they left. They ended up doing their own thing after that for most of the day. Then they met up with us later while we were getting henna tattoos, but once again she was really hungry, so they left to go find her food. Another day we played some drinking games designed by another friend on the trip, S. M doesn't drink, although they offered ways for her to play still, replacing alcohol with ginger ale, her favorite drink. Her not drinking has never been an issue before, by the way. She doesn't mind being around people who drink, and we do not pressure her to drink. She usually participates in some way. This time she chose to sit on the porch, but then she did get hungry and spent an hour searching on her phone to find the exact meal she wanted. She kept trying to chat about it while we were running around and shotgunning beers and whatever, so I will admit I wasn't very attentive to what she was saying. Anyway, she finally got her meal, but it wasn't right. The chicken inside the wrap was cold, which she hates. After the drinking games we went to the beach, and the 65-degree temps were much more tolerable after drinking. She tried to stay behind, but we talked her into going with us. She was pleasant enough on the beach. There are more examples, but I think you get the picture. We left Friday, and everyone was sending pictures and videos in the group chat and making jokes, etc. M did not participate nor respond to a single group message since we got back. She shared a bunch of memes about being sad to her Instagram story, but hasn't discussed WTF is going on with anyone. Except E, who C and I both asked about it, and he said he didn't want to offer an opinion, BC he didn't want to end up misconstruing info. If I text him privately, just to chat, she does respond normally. I'm trying to be braver and more confrontational/assertive, and not let resentment build in my friendships. I need to talk to her about this. C also really wants answers. How do we talk to her about this? Can we do it in a group chat? I want the three of us to have this discussion, but I don't want her to feel like we are ganging up on her. Also, how do I start the conversation? I've seen her completely ghost people rather than have a hard conversation, so I'm worried about even bringing it up. Too long. Didn't read. My friend was in a sour mood for our entire beach trip and I want advice on how to talk to her about it. Ethereal Spear says, I wonder if she had some bad news. Is she pregnant? Kristen says, I think if you approach it with curiosity and care, that will help you be non-confrontational about it. We need to learn to have conversations with people we care about that aren't confrontational. Be sure you do not jump to defending yourself or others. Just listen with an open heart. Ask her, I was so looking forward to our week away, I'm so sorry it seemed like you were upset about something. Was there something going on before the trip that upset you? Is everything okay? And then just listen to what she says. Hopefully you will find out if she was anxious before the trip. Then you can ask her if there was anything you could have done differently on the trip to make her feel more comfortable. This doesn't mean it's your job to fix everything for her, but it shows that you want her to have a good time too. Depending on how the conversation goes, you can even ask if this is the kind of trip she wants to do in the future, or if there are other types of trips she prefers. For example, my friend likes to go to concerts in other cities, but then will want to stay with a sibling and sleep on a couch. I don't want to sleep on someone's couch, so I no longer say yes to concerts in cities where her siblings live. I know this sounds strange, but for the longest time she had a crappy car, so I would always drive and then have to drive home from the concert an hour and a half to her sibling's house to sleep on a couch. No thanks. Part of getting older is knowing your likes and dislikes, so if road trips with a large group stress her out, maybe she's prefer trips with fewer people. The important thing for her to know is that you care about her, since she didn't have much fun, and you want to know if there's something going on in her life in general that caused her to isolate herself. William Toronto says, ask her one-on-one. Make it friend to friend. Express your concern, not anger. Want to understand, so the next trip will be better for her. Oreganoka says, ask her to lunch. Tell her you're worried about her as she doesn't seem like herself lately, and ask if she's okay. Let her know you're there for her if she needs to talk. Don't do this by text, and definitely not in a group chat where she might feel ganged up on. Cat Slug says, did her friend used to drink at some point? I only ask BC, this is exactly the kind of behavior I had when I had to get sober, and it was a nightmare to be around. Constant anxiety, sensitivity, never being able to fully enjoy things, little things setting me off. Twonk Nails says, she could have anxiety about traveling or being in a car for long periods. Also could be PMS. I know for me little things seem huge to me, and I cry a lot for no reason before my period. Lovely 8 says, maybe she's having some issues with her partner and were coming to a head before the trip and a possible exacerbation during the trip. Overripe Cucumber says, I wouldn't confront her together. You are right that it will feel like an ambush. I would invite her to coffee or lunch and let her know you want to have a heart-to-heart. Once you arrive, just have an honest one-on-one conversation. Let her know you felt things were off on the trip and want to communicate to understand what was going on. Let her know you felt hurt by some of her actions and just hope to get some closure on those feelings so it doesn't create a rift. Dry_shelter8301 says. She sounds pregnant to me. Widoiga from here says. There are two approaches to this. The first is to not acknowledge it at all, and next time you guys plan a trip, exclude her. If she brings it up, you're able to let her know that you felt she didn't enjoy herself last trip and it all was weird, that everyone had to feel it, and you don't want a repeat of the same. You are not obligated to put up with immaturity nor counsel it. Dealing with this situation in this way keeps the responsibility in her court as well as the consequence. You don't get to be a jerk and expect everyone else to be okay with your tantrums kinda thing. The second is to try a dinner together. Say that you'd love to have a catch up about the trip and ask when her and her guy are free next for dinner. Don't do it with just 3 people. Let her guy be there too, otherwise it'll could easily feeling like you're hanging up on her. Ease into dinner and make sure things are open and relax before you step into the conversation. So I really wanted to create the space to talk about what happened on our trip. We love you and we love that you were able to join, but how you behaved freaked us out while we were away. What happened? Revolutionary_at1846 says. No group chat. And call her M. It seems you were not having fun on this trip. Which is out of character. Did something happen? Druskulit says. Doing it in a group or even 2 of you talking to her together can easily be seen as being ganged up on. Talk to her individually. Tell her you want to talk about what was going on with her during the trip. Listen to all she has to say before asking additional questions. She sounds immature, so be prepared. Efficient_C3384 says. I hope the conversation doesn't turn into a hangry argument. Good luck. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.